Well, hi, Elizabeth.
Hi,
We're
Lynn.
here to announce a very exciting event that's coming up that you've been guided to do. And when you mentioned it to me, I got goosebumps. Like, yeah, this is something that we're meant to do together. So what we're talking about is an event coming up on July 7th, and it's going to begin at 7 in the morning, and it's called 777 Cosmic Reawakening. And it's happening when Uranus, the planet of Awakener, it's called the Great Awakener, is moving into Gemini. And so Elizabeth was guided for us to do an event in Stonehenge when Uranus moved into Taurus. So there's something very powerful about a Uranus ingress, it's called. And the fact that it's happening with the numerology of 777 is beyond amazing. And as the planning stages we've gone through with the planning, it's just unfolding magically. As when we looked at the chart for that time, the astrological chart, there are so many things in it that it just can't be ignored. And with the astrology that's going on in general, this year, especially around that time, it's it's never happened before in recorded human history, that all these planets are changing signs and that these things are going on. In fact, we were talking about the reawakening because we're ending the Kali Yuga, 26,000 years cycle of not remembering who we are. And so this is an opportunity where we're feeling that it's a coming together of the cosmic star families. And so if you're listening to this and you listen this far into it, then you might start to feel a resonance with this invitation to come to Sedona, Arizona on 7/7. Well, it's starting at 7/6, but we're doing the opening ceremony at 7/7/7 in a sacred place in Sedona to honor not only the astrology, the numerology, but it's really a soul awakening or a soul remembering. So, in some ways, it feels like you'll know, um, because it feels like a soul contract that we'll be together at this time. So,
We're limiting it to just 12
mhm.
because when we were guided to do the Stargate Merlin, which we have the website is still up for stargatemerlin.com, so you can see the work that Linda and I did together for the Stargate Merlins bringing in Uranus when it went into Taurus 7 years ago. And you can read all about what we did and see some pictures. It says for 2020 on still on the website. But we completed the three Stargate Merlins that we were guided by Merlin, Saint Germain in his Merlin aspect. It's in England, in Stonehenge. And now I've been really called to, I just completed a website. The offerings for 2025 is Sedona Red Door Retreats with an S.com, to bring this awakening. And that at this, Uranus will be 0000 Gemini at 7 a.m. on 7/7. And you could say 7/7/7 because we write it 25 in Sedona. And not only will Uranus be at 00, but at 1 degree Gemini will be Sedna. And you can read about Sedna on my website because I feel Sedna that was discovered really in 2003, but announced in 2004 is Sedona without the O. And I feel Sedona is a portal for the emergence of the divine feminine, which is, I wrote all about it. I have a podcast, somebody asked me about it on the website about, so for Uranus to be 0, for Sedna to be 1 Gemini, and Sedna's orbit is between, some people say 11,400, but I also heard 12,000. So it's a huge cycle that Sedna is this close to our Earth in almost 12,000 years. And it's Sedona without the O, and it's known as a red planet too. And so next to Uranus, and then right next to Sedna, so they're all conjunct as Venus at 3 degrees of Gemini. I mean, it's just like an amazing um, activation, and they're trying to Pluto, who is will be almost 3 degrees, 2 degrees, 59 minutes of Aquarius, trining that 00 Uranus, Sedna, Venus in Gemini. I mean, it's amazing. You know, it's just like this activation, and then the Aries energy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you who don't speak astrologies, what Elizabeth is saying is this is just magical how these things are all lining up. And it's not only that day, but when Neptune moved into Aries on shoot, I forgot. What was it?
23rd of March.
23rd of March, right after my birthday.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it, yeah. Anyway, it's it's this year we have five planets changing signs, which is a major deal. I mean, to be moving into different signs, and they're all kind of related to each other. And this particular day on 7/7, when Uranus moves into Gemini, it's the final outer planet changing signs. It's like, to me, it feels like the combination lock, where it's gone back and forth like this, and then click on this day, something magical. And the way this whole thing is playing out as we're putting the plans together, magical things are coming together. I'm starting getting goosebumps talking about it because magical things are coming together like, oh, let's do this. And oh, what about that? And it's just, it's, it's magical. And so we just like to invite you to consider joining us. And it's not something that you'll decide from your head. It's kind of, it's like check in and energetically, does this feel like something that is calling you? Because it definitely is something that's calling us. So, and if you don't know who we are, I'm just going to quickly introduce Elizabeth HeartStar Keller. She's been living in Arizona for 40 years, Elizabeth?
Done for 35 years,
35 years.
and half the year doing Avalon journeys in Glastonbury. So most of the 30 years, I was half the year in Glastonbury doing Avalon journeys. And then doing the Stargate Merlin was the last of the work that I was being asked to do that we did together, which was about balancing the divine masculine and feminine, working ley lines, known as the Michael and the Mary line in England, working in Cornwall, Glastonbury, Stonehenge, and Avebury. And now it's time to bring that here to Sedona and this emergence of the divine feminine, um, who I see Sedna as. And so we're going to go to the sacred well, the holy well here, which is the well of the native tribe here. The Yavapai's creation story is the birth of the first woman out of the well. So we'll go to sacred sites every morning early because it could be hot, but we never know. And there's where we're staying is a magical place, and there's a pool, and the views are incredible. I mean, I'm really excited, and it's gonna be a celebration. We need to celebrate life and this awakening. It's not easy on the planet right now. We know that, but we all who remember came here to help raise the consciousness for this evolution, which is what Pluto's about. We're evolving into birthing is not an easy time, but we came to do this. So it's like, the 12, that's a magical number. We were thinking we were going to do it for more people, but I've always, the Stargate Merlin was just 12. It's like you're one of the zodiac, you're one of the lights of the round table. We're bringing it here to awaken the light within us. These are like it's a portal here, and so awakening those galactic light codes that are in our DNA.
Yeah, and the hotel, excuse me, the hotel is perfect for us. It's spiritual energy. They have a amethyst wall behind the reception desk. I mean, the whole thing is just rolling out like we are being guided to do this, and we feel that you will feel guided to join us. So, yeah,
The dates are, to arrive on July 6th, and we'll meet like by 4 and we'll do a gathering and share. And we're every day we want to call them play shops, astrology play shops, where we'll look at your horoscope, we'll look at the lineup, especially of Uranus, Sedna, and Venus and Gemini, and the Pluto and Aquarius. And each day there'll be some astrology, first going to the sacred sites, and Linda's a Stargate facilitator. So we'll be bringing the Stargate energy and these amazing sacred sites every morning, doing play shops with astrology. And on 7/7 at 7, we will be activating at the Bell Rock Ladder of Ascension portal. And then that night we'll have a 7/7/7 dress up as your galactic self fun party, um, you know, to express to just have fun. It's time to have fun.
Yeah, yeah. And the whole thing is, it's really coming into balance with our masculine and feminine. And the feminine, the strength and empowerment of the feminine. It's time to stop, being playing small
Yeah.
and to really own who we are. And again, I think this is a soul contract that
Yes.
we made. And so yeah, and just the Stargate, just quickly, and then we'll sign off. But the Stargates, I was working with the Stargate, we call it the Shasta Stargate. And Elizabeth has a Stargate that she calls the Avalon Stargate. And the two Stargates fit together in a magical way, and they actually met in Sedona.
Yeah.
So they, yeah, this it's all meant to be. It's spirit guided. And again, just check into your heart and see if this feels like something that you're supposed to be with us for.
Yeah.
Very special, sacred, exciting event.
July 6th, and then for 5 nights. So July 6th and then to July 11th. Yeah, it's going to be really magical and
Hmm. Yeah,
portal Sedona.
yeah. And Elizabeth has befriended the people at the Red Rock Sedona, and they're giving us a discount, a good discount on the rooms.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's
it's all happening really fast. We just like this is how the Stargate Merlin happened the first time.
mhm.
Remember? I
Yeah.
I just said to Linda that I had this out of body kind of experience looking down at Stonehenge and saw I was told, oh, there's 12 and you're meant to do Stargate for 3 years in a row. And I was like, that's not me doing the Stargate. It looks like me, but I don't know where I was. I was looking down. And then I came back too, and I was like, oh, that was Linda. She does Stargate. That was her. And so I phoned you and told you, and I said, yeah, we're supposed to do it. And it was like the 12 magically came together. So it's only 2 months away, and today's 5/5, which is a portal. Those are magic numbers. So we have the special discount at the hotel, $100 off per night. Till 6/6 it needs to be paid, or if you're a little after that, but I think it's going to fill up by then and have the discount. And we will have everything written on the website about all the details and like 2 dinners and brunches and snacks and all the fun things we're going to do. And yeah, it'll be on Sedona Red Door Retreats, again with an S at the end.com. And yeah, looking
Yeah, and
forward.
it's going to end on the full moon
Mhm.
on the night of well, it'll end on the 11th, but the night of the 12th, 10th, we'll be meeting, we're having a ceremony, full moon
Yes.
ceremony.
A fire ceremony at a wonderful woman, June Arbalov, that works with the 13 grandmothers, that is just right out about 20 minutes outside of Sedona, and she has a big fire pit, and we always do ceremonies. She actually has a sweat. I don't think we're going to do a sweat, but we're going to do the fire ceremony outside, which will be amazing on the full moon.
Hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
will be our last evening, the full moon. It's so exciting
right,
that it's
right.
full
Yeah, a completion. So, so yes, just check into your heart, see if it feels right, and you're warmly invited to join us. All right.
Okay,
Blessings, everybody.
thank you. Looking forward to meeting you all.